Hello and welcome to Iron Port. Iron Port is proudly brought to you by Serene Insurance, World PLC, the Ghana Revenue Authority, Ghana Link, Meridian Port Services Limited, and Phoenix Insurance. Our proud media partner is the Business and Financial Times. Iron Port is powered by the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority. Now, this week we are discussing how to ensure higher efficiency in Ghana's shipping industry, and we had in the studios two experts in the person of Dr. Kofi Mbia, as well as Dr. Ayana Emoru Adam, who is with the Ship Owners and Agents Association of Ghana. Let's take a listen.
To talk of Ghana's industry, I mean, what has happened over the period, I would say, from a Ghanaian perspective, nothing much has changed because you have to look at it from both sides. What I know that is changing, it's predominantly the shipping companies or the shipping lines heavily investing in their trade, which brings to fore the global regulations. Because of all these global regulations, all these companies have to invest heavily. I mean, you would attest to me that recently, not recently, it's been there, but regulations such as the ballistic water treatment system, retrofitting of scrubbers, and very low sulfur fuel regulations. All these involve heavy investment. So shipping as they come in, it's not just like a car moving and you put fuel in it and it just moves. Right. And all this is also towards improvement of our environment. On the face of Ghana, I think technology is what I see driving from the shipping side of things, driving it, because I know for a fact that most of the shipping lines, at least, we have the 7 big global players sitting in Ghana. They have heavily invested in technology, and not just for Ghana, but for their global business. And we think this would aid the shipping industry. Now, what we need on the other side is a mindset change. Right. And I think Ghana is on the way to go. Fortunately, there's been some kind of investment also in our ports, and there is more to be done. Right. That's what I would say for now on the shipping front.
Right. Dr. Mbia. Yes, let's have your take on your assessment from the private sector perspective of what our shipping industry as a country looks like at the moment.
I agree with Ayana. I mean, we've come quite some distance. There is no doubt at all about it. Right. But at the same time, we are still bedeviled with the things that over the years we have spoken about. Absolutely. They remain, and that is a matter of concern. Right. You know, for every port, at the end of the day, you are interested in ensuring that, yes, there is efficiency, and the efficiency goes with cost reduction.
I told you can
bear in mind a few things that makes a port. What I call them the signs and symptoms. Okay. If you went to the port of Tema today, what do you see? Okay. And the things which you see are informative of the efficiency of the port and the issues we talk about in respect of cost reduction. Right. You go to Tema Port today. As you enter the port precincts, the area, trucks are littered all around. I lie? Yes. If I lie, tell me.
That's true.
Trucks are littered all around. Yeah. It is not the mark of an efficient port. Right. You know, as you get into the port, you realize that we need to have integrated infrastructure. Yes. Largely, when you come to the operation side of things, in terms of efficiency, we are up there.
So can you draw close?
We are up there. There is no doubt at all that we are up there in terms of the operations. But when you look at the logistics performance index, that is the totality of the logistics chain, then you would come to realize that indeed, while we are efficient at the side of the berth, etc., when you come on land, where we need to be efficient as well, we are not as efficient. Right. Right from the terminal operations, therefore leading to increased dwell time of containers. Right. You look at the the outlets, as far as the port is concerned, the road, the main one, is very bad now.
Right.
We have the hospital road, and then we have the one that comes to Nungwa.
Yes.
All of them, they are not designed to complement the efforts of the port in terms of the movement of cargo out of the port. So it is important to bear in mind that, yes, it's true, we have done well in terms of operational efficiencies, bedside, bed occupancy, the crane and what the crane can do over the period, etc. We've done well with respect to those.
Right.
When it comes to the totality, we still have a lot of challenges.
Right.
We still have challenges with costs. We still have challenges with people. Yes, maybe today I talk more for the private sector.
Yeah.
But the issue still remains that people come to the port only to come and find out how much duty they have to pay and go and look for money to come and pay. While their containers remain in the port, it doesn't make for efficiency.
Right.
As far as, if we talk about efficiencies, we'll talk about maybe skill, training, etc.
Yes.
I think largely, and I saw a few things up here which show quite clearly that when it comes to efficiency in terms of skills, training, etc., the human capacity development, we are there.
Yeah.
We've done a lot in that regard. Right. But when it comes to the regulatory framework, we still have challenges.
Right.
So I talk about the integrated infrastructure, and I talk also about the regulatory framework.
Okay.
Because regulation and administration is important in a port such as this.
Right.
There is the need for us to have a port community that meets periodically.
Right.
That sets targets, goals to be achieved. They look at the general performance indicators of the port.
Yes.
Not only from one end, but from the front end and the back end. They look at both, and then evaluate, they monitor, they look at it over time and come back and say, are we indeed making progress?
The port's operations is quite efficient compared to our neighbors. What it is, the challenge is what Kofi has spoken about. That is the cost.
Right.
But you see, coming together is one thing. But actors also playing their individual roles is key.
Right.
Because if we come together, we've been sitting around the table for donkey years, and what has happened? That is why I ended by saying that a mindset change is very important.
Absolutely.
Kofi spoke of regulations, but what we have to do is, what is the objective of the regulations? A regulation should have an objective. Now you have Ghana Customs exercise.
Customs Division, Customs
they have
Division.
trained clearing agents, right, to understand their processes.
They issue the proficiency certificates to
them. Are they well trained, or do they also understand their training? The port efficiency and operational efficiency is one thing. Like you said, things are improving. But if these actors don't also play their role well or understand their real roles, then we will forever be mounting on cost, and everybody will be shouting. And sometimes, every time the cost drivers are changed, rate of exchange, taxes, shipping lines, blah, blah. It never ends. What is the bottleneck? I know recently the port is struggling, where they have several boxes sitting in the port, right? Where people are not clearing. You have thousands of boxes.
Absolutely, yes, that's true.
Come on, I'm a shipping line, right? All I did was to help you bring your cargo in a safe manner.
Yes.
Right, and I need these boxes to do the same for others.
Right.
And you keep my boxes for 2 years, 4 years. Who is supposed to bear those costs? Unfortunately, when these boxes go on what they call UCL, the shipping line's hands are tied.
As we speak, as of last week, I know we had about 2,000 boxes on the UCL.
Look at that. What is that going to happen? Most of these boxes, some of them, even the suppliers themselves have not been paid. Right? Then come to the shipping line. Some of them, freight has not been paid. And finally, what would we see? We will see some of them also, especially the perishable items of it going bad. And then these would have to be destroyed.
Right.
Who pays for that destruction? Is the shipping line. So where are the cost drivers? We have to look at these things in a very principled and practical manner, not just the shouting.
Right.
And Kofi hit the nail right on the head. It's time we have a mindset change. Populism is not going to help anyone.
Right.
People should understand the dynamics. like Kofi said, if you look at the other side of shipping, up to the berthing side and even the terminal, like he rightly stated, MPS has invested heavily. And I'm sure GPHA is also investing. And the shipping lines have also invested. People are not looking at all those investments that goes into it, right? All they see is at the end of the day, these people are charging so much and they are charging. And what are you doing to help that bit? So we have to look at that as an industry.
It's the right time to take a break. We'll be right back.
Good energy brings you quality choices with Goil Super XP. Available in many Goil stations nationwide. It is fortified with special additives that help your engine perform better and use less fuel. Branch into a Goil station today and energize your ride with Goil Super XP, compatible with most vehicles. Goil Super XP will feel ya, huh? Will be feel. Goil, good energy. Yeah, yeah.
Electricity, then pay your taxes. Our taxes, our future.
Because you see, without our taxes, we wouldn't have good roads, good schools, better hospitals, street lights, and other very important social amenities. When we pay our taxes, we give our children free and quality education. Talga, my money too small. Why should I pay my tax? Look, small. Salifo, it doesn't matter how small or big your business or income is, you still have to pay your taxes. The little taxes from each and every one of us, when put together, could give your community clean water or that deprived school with tables and chairs. Please pay your taxes. It is your responsibility. It is your civic duty. It is the law.
Welcome to today's edition of Serene Insurance Business News. We present to you Serena. You're right. You can complete an entire insurance process for the purchase of any motor and other insurance products, from onboarding to issuing a motor insurance sticker and policy certificate, all on WhatsApp in less than 10 minutes. Serena is simple to use and it prioritizes user ease and flexibility. You can either use voice notes or text to effortlessly issue your instant policy, cross-platform renewals, claims, and also process your payments through mobile money, Visa, and MasterCard. To engage Serena, just search for Serena Insurance on all social media handles and scan the Serena barcode or save her number 0500 517 114 and start chatting her on WhatsApp immediately. There you have it. Serena is not just a tool, it's an innovation by Serene Insurance designed to redefine how motor and travel insurance are accessed and managed. Speed, convenience, and reliability.
MPS Terminal 3 is Africa's new state-of-the-art container terminal at Tema Port. For manufacturers, agro-processors and traders, the new port means business can be done faster. This infrastructure boost will improve Ghana's port handling capacity, connect more trading routes, and oil the engine of growth for the economy, creating greater opportunities across all sectors as Africa's markets merge and become the largest trading bloc globally. MPS, we connect, you thrive.
Business and life can be like the sea sometimes. Sometimes serene, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, and at times it brings the unexpected. However it is like, trust Phoenix Insurance for your home, car, business, and marine insurance needs. Call 0302-246-319 or 0243-690-492.
At Phoenix, you experience a delightful service delivered with wisdom.
Now, welcome back from the break. Now, local news and activities happening within the port and maritime industry next.
The Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, in collaboration with key maritime stakeholders, has undertaken a comprehensive simulation exercise dubbed Operation Obangame, aimed at testing the port's readiness and response capabilities in the event of an oil spill. The exercise brought together GPHA's Marine Unit, Fire and Safety Department, and Security Department, working in close coordination with the Marine Police and the Ghana Maritime Authority. The simulation was designed to evaluate interagency coordination, response time, and operational effectiveness in managing marine environmental incidents. Central to the operation was the deployment of GPHA's state-of-the-art multi-purpose tugboat, specially equipped to contain and manage oil spillages at sea. The tugboat demonstrated its capacity to swiftly respond to environmental emergencies, reinforcing GPHA's commitment to maintaining high safety and environmental protection standards at Ghana's ports. Speaking after the exercise, some officials emphasized the importance of preparedness in safeguarding Ghana's marine environment in line with international safety and environmental protocols. The harbour master at the port of Tema, Captain Bramwell Terrier, said Operation Obangame forms part of a broader series of maritime security and environmental protection initiatives being undertaken to strengthen Ghana's resilience against both accidental and intentional marine threats.
We had an exercise called Obangame. It's a multinational exercise organized by the military along the west and east coast of Africa to test our readiness or preparedness against any eventuality. This year we were given a role, oil spill role, tier 1 to play.
The successful execution of the drill underscored the importance of joint stakeholder collaboration in enhancing Ghana's port security and environmental response mechanism.
Management of the Tema Fishing Harbour have expressed delight following the successful berthing of the longest vessel ever to dock at the facility. The vessel, Savannah Wind, which measures 128 meters in length with a draft of 6.5 meters, arrived at the harbour on Saturday, March 10, carrying 1,399 tons of frozen fish cartons. Her last port of call before Tema was in Mauritania. The general manager of the Tema Fishing Harbour, Engineer Stephen Ampiel, described the successful handling of the vessel as a strong signal to the global fishing industry that the harbour is ready for large-scale operations of this nature.
The records indicate that this is the longest vessel that we have handled, and it's only an indication that our facilities here are ready to receive and work on.
Captain Alfred Damali, the dock master at the fishing harbour, shared details of the technical precision involved in this operation.
We had a vessel called Savannah Wind coming in. So we asked of the draft. Most usually when they book, we take particular attention on the length and then the draft. So we found out that fine, we can take in this vessel, which is 128 meters, 0.4, I think 128.4 meters, and the draft is around 6.8.
The development is seen as a boost to Ghana's fishing logistics sector and underscores the harbour's strategic role in regional fish trade.
To improve operational efficiency and safety at the port and for external stakeholders, the Learning and Development Division of the Ghana Port and Harbours Authority (GPHA), in partnership with the Chartered Institute of Logistics and Transport (CILT), has certified 28 individuals after an intensive one-month forklift training program. This maiden graduation ceremony, held at GPHA Towers in Tema, brought together some managers within the authority, representatives of CILT Ghana, course facilitators, and the graduates. In her welcome address, the Learning and Development Manager at GPHA, Chirabuaten, said the training not only enhances workplace safety but also contributes significantly to the organization's revenue stream. She further revealed that under the transformation agenda of the Learning and Development section, 5 training cohorts are scheduled for 2025, and the success of the first forklift training is a strong testament to GPHA's ongoing commitment to meeting the evolving needs of the maritime and logistics industry.
As part of our external training unit's business development activities, we have engaged with the Tema Oil Company to provide forklift training at their premises. We are also exploring more opportunities with other organizations.
Speaking on behalf of the General Manager of Administration, Kwabna Edusafo, the HR Manager at the Port of Tema, Joseph Upen, commended the program's facilitators for delivering a rigorous month of training. He expressed confidence that GPHA is nurturing a pool of skilled individuals who may become valuable future employees.
We see it as developing a workforce pool that we will leverage ourselves in the future.
Representing the President of CILT Ghana, Vice President in charge of Finance, Laksin Liga, lauded the graduates for their discipline, commitment, and readiness to contribute to one of the most critical sectors of Ghana's economy.
Today marks more than just the completion of forklift operator training. It signifies the beginning of a journey towards excellence, responsibility, and professional growth.
Ghana's industrial fishing sector took a major step toward improving the welfare of its workforce with the official signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between the Ghana Industrial Trawlers Association and the National Union of Seamen, Port and Allied Workers. The MOU sets a standardized framework for the wages and emoluments of fishers working on trawl vessels, and represents a significant milestone in Ghana's implementation of the International Labour Organization's C-188 Work and Fishing Convention, ratified by the country in recent years. At a brief but symbolic signing ceremony attended by stakeholders from government, labour unions, industry and development partners, the Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Dr. Kamaldeen Ali, described the agreement as a transformative step toward fairness, dignity and justice for Ghana's fishers.
The signing of this MOU is therefore a major achievement and a clear step towards improving the working and living conditions of fishers on trawlers operating in Ghana, and this is by no means a small achievement when you compare it even on a global scale.
General Secretary of NUSPAW, Michael Angmo, highlighted some of the key gains already chalked in the lead up to the MOU.
The first one is about recruitment. And if you look at how recruitments were done in those days, sometimes they call it frefrekobo. So I have my pack bag behind me and I'm in search of job, but I don't know who is the employer and I don't know where to go. So a friend will just say, you are sign on. You don't even know whom your employer is.
As part of activities marking the International Day for Women in Maritime, celebrated on the 18th day of May each year, the Ghana chapter of the Women's International Shipping and Trading Association paid a courtesy call on the Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Dr. Kamaldeen Ali, to reaffirm its commitment to continued collaboration. President of WISTA Ghana, Gertrude Ohenie-Sienim, acknowledged the long-standing partnership between the two institutions and expressed appreciation for GMA support over the years. She called for even greater backing in efforts to increase women's participation in Ghana's maritime sector.
We've had success stories of about 4 captains in the past, and over 30 years we've had none again. And so there's been a big gap between what our predecessors have done and what is happening currently. Why are women not taking these challenging positions? Those people had deliberate encouragement to climb that path.
Gertrude Ohenie-Sienim also announced WISTA Ghana's intention to bid for Ghana to host the annual general meeting of the International Association in 2027. Responding to the delegation, the Director General of the Ghana Maritime Authority, Dr. Kamaldeen Ali, underscored the authority's commitment to empowering women, describing it as a key component of GMA's management strategy, which is evident in the growing number of women in leadership positions at the authority.
It is clear that inclusivity in our management level will never be determined by gender. It will be determined by who has got what to offer. And that is clear in the GMA setup as we see here.
The GMA boss emphasized that the authority is transitioning beyond its regulatory role to proactively promote Ghana's maritime industry, including through strategic partnerships that elevate women in the sector.
Let's now take a listen to some port and maritime news elsewhere.
Demand soared as shippers rushed to book space on container vessels headed to the US just one day after the trade partners agreed to pause reciprocal tariffs that had reduced by the third volumes on the eastbound Trans-Pacific. Some of the first hard data to come out of the tariff timeout showed just how much inventory was sitting in warehouses, factories, and ports, waiting for a resolution to what had become a global trade war.
It's now time for the word or phrase of the day segment.
Full container load. This refers to a container that is filled by one shipper, normally to a sole receiver.
We have the health and safety tips next.
Fire alarms. An effective fire alarm system should be provided throughout port areas. This may be by break glass, fire alarm point, or otherwise. If the system involves the use of a radio or telephone system, the system should operate at all times. Automatic systems can be arranged to sound alarms in relevant areas, alert the fire authority, and operate automatic fire extinguishing appliances as appropriate.
We have your comments next.
Emmanuel from Agbogba says, "Hello Iron Port. The president also commissioned a committee to see to the realization of a national airline. Do you think it is time for the country to start thinking of the Black Steel Line again?"
Yes, as far as names are concerned, I don't mind about the name, right. but the structure. Right. You know, what form should it take? Right. You know, these days we've been talking a lot about public-private participation. You know, so if the structure is along those lines, then it is fine. But a completely state-owned, Black Star Line, as it used to be, would not be competitive. I can tell you. Okay.
Isaac from Ashaiman says, "What reforms are SOAG and the Chamber proposing to ensure better collaboration with state actors like Customs and GPHA?"
What we want is constructive dialogue. I think we can always proffer solutions. So it's all about open dialogue. We are very open to dialogue.
Now, schedules of vessels in the port, those at anchorage and those expected in the coming week, plus the Bank of Ghana exchange rate, you need to know to clear your goods from the port next. That's all for this week's episode of Eye on Port. Thank you for watching, and thanks to the entire crew. Join us same time next week, and also follow us on our various social media platforms on your screens.